Billy.
Hi. Hello. And welcome to the Partner Panel. I'm doing JPI warning. JPI warning, I think. Again, it's a little awkward. Yeah. Okay. Warning. You don't know what a JPI warning is?
No.
Oh, Bran.
Panels, dude.
Oh, wait, I do, because it's like, oh, wait, we're live?
Yeah, it's the JPI warning.
I got you. I thought it was something to do with his most recent adventure. I was just like, I don't know.
No. This is just an awareness that we're live. And that's all this is. And everybody can see us. And you know what? YOLO. We're going to start off a phase here. But before we do that, welcome, everybody. How's it going? Hey, man. Don't fucking judge me, Bearded. Welcome, everyone, to another week of the Fault Partner Panel. We have our amazing fucking crew over here. You know, some of them have shinier heads than others. We'll talk about that later. But we... Oh, I love you, Mangus. But we actually got some news, right? Like last week's episode, we were mainly talking about the fact that it was just cold shoulder. We didn't really get any information. Ironically, there was a video, pretty interesting video that we're going to go into depth here, that was released the day after we recorded our partner panel. So I was like, oh, that's going to have to wait a fucking week until we talk about it. But yeah, we're going to get into that. We're also going to get into what this means for the game, possibilities moving forward and such. But I do want everybody to introduce themselves. If we could, I'll just start with myself. I'm Windu. For those of you guys that don't know, welcome. Everything from MOBAs, cars, strategy, that's what I dive in. You can find me on every social media. Let's go down the list here, going with Bren, Mangoose, and then Bearded. If we could, introduce yourself.
Hey, Bren, Fault Partner. Main is Phil for in-game. I like to keep the vibes positive and looking forward to this panel. Poggers, let's go. I'm trying to introduce that in my streams. Poggers.
More poggers? That means you need a Bren pog emote.
Yeah, Bren pogging. Call it vibe.
Oh, I can't, bro.
Hey, Bren, how many times do you hit F1 in your games?
F1, never.
Actually?
Never, ever.
That's a thing?
Actually, never. Well, maybe twice off stream.
When you can't catch me. That's it.
On stream, I don't hit F1.
I love it. And Mangoose?
What's up, everybody? I'm the Mangoose. You are awesome. And you probably know from me mainly from YouTube because I don't Twitch stream all that much. And I am not a partner. I used to be. Maybe will be again one day. But yeah, let's talk about some Fault. Let's talk about this patch 14 that's finally announced.
For the 14th week in a row. All right. And Bearded?
I'm the Bearded Wolverine. I'm your Michigan Wonder, also a Fault Partner, and excited to finally talk about some patch 14 news. And excited to hear your guys' comments as well. Let's go.
True. Let me ask you guys. Did you guys expect a video out of Strange Matter?
No. And when it happened, no. I was expecting a video eventually. I just didn't know when. But I didn't think it was going to be Saturday.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be Saturday.
Not gonna lie, when they said like they did that teaser, like, we got something big coming at 3. I was like, the patch, it's here. And then it was like, the patch is going to be 4 weeks from now. God.
Yeah, that was weird, bro. Freaking, I tuned in. I was literally painting my house. I got the notification. I was like, with the roller in my hand, looking at my phone. 30 seconds later, it was over. And then I see the entire live chat on YouTube like, a black screen. What happened? And then everybody's like, that means it ended. And everybody's like, that's it? all that hype for 30 seconds. I was like, yeah.
It was cool. We got like good view of the map. We got phase. It's all awesome. I kind of expected more, but I'm happy with what we got. I can't deny that. It was cool to see phase, and it was cool to see like you got to see a little bit of maybe what her passive might be, because she links to an enemy and then stuns them, and you see a lot of her old abilities being used, so you know that she's going to work a lot like she did in Paragon. It was cool to see. It was nice to see. I liked it. You asked me what I was expecting. I was expecting the patch, but
yeah. See, I do think that's crazy. The fact that this was a pretty damn good video, in my opinion. You feel me? Yeah. It wasn't anything like mind-blowingly crazy, because they've done some other cool videos in the past. But overall, they gave us quite a bit of teasers in here so that we can freeze frame, dissect, talk about and shit like that. And we are going to go through that, right? But
one thing I do have to applaud them for, though, is we've talked about this before in the partner panels. They don't use their socials that much. They don't use their YouTube that much. So this whole like, hey,
lead everybody to YouTube.
3 p.m. Go to our YouTube for the premiere. And they did a whole premiere thing, which I know you two like to do with your stuff, and the premieres were there so people can sit there and chat, do live chatting with it. Like, it was great. I love the fact that they're starting to use their socials again, just like we've been kind of preaching to them for when we've been doing these partner panels.
Yep. YouTube is probably, even though they do have like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and all that, YouTube, I would say it's probably their best tool to promote the game too. Because YouTube, after Google itself, is the second largest search engine in the world. Like that shit's, it's ridiculous to not
Google.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think they completely missed the point of a premiere, though.
Yeah,
they definitely need their work. They definitely need their work.
So could you elaborate?
30-second video. Like a premiere is there so that the viewers can chat about the content that's being viewed.
Right.
30 seconds isn't enough time to chat about something.
No. Like a good premiere would have been like if they do their dev stream, right? If they stream it live, they grab that pre-recorded, then they premiere that for everybody that didn't catch it live. That's how the premieres work.
They can edit out any dead spots and clean it up, make it look pretty, and then you premiere it. And then they can have mods in chat, like answering questions as things go along, as the premiere goes along. Like they kind of missed the point of a premiere. It was kind of like they used it as if it was
as a hype tool
than a video. Yeah. A premiere is not better than a video. It's just a video that you can chat during
for 30 seconds. So let me ask Bren, right?
Yo.
Homie's a little quiet after he said this. He got quiet.
Just ready for the questions.
Bad. So, how do you particularly feel about the date of December 10th?
I think it's not leaving a lot of space for any bugs that would be found in case before the holidays. I'd have preferred it a week sooner. So, one, I'm home for it. And two, they've got, the holiday season, you obviously want everyone to be enjoying time with family and that. You don't want to be sitting worrying, well, not for us, but for the dev team and stuff, sitting worrying about stuff. They might not, but I know that would be resting on my head. Like, there's so much stuff we need to fix. Not saying that's going to happen, but just leaving a buffer would it be nice.
That's a good point.
I don't want to be that guy, but like I think the community's perception with how long it took for 14 to be actually finally given a date, the insinuation of 14 being earlier and then how long it's been taking, the community's perception is that 14 should be the least buggiest patch that they've put out. No, I say least buggy because it's going to have bugs. Every patch we get, we're going to have bugs. We know that, right? We're going to get bugs no matter what happens. But we shouldn't be to the point that we should be worried about reporting bugs and getting bugs fixed before the holiday season.
But I would prefer to be in a position to do that, though.
I completely agree. I think we should have released it 2 weeks ago so we can help you find the bugs.
Yeah,
Let's
but
go.
I'm sure they're finding like big bugs at the moment. I'm not sure exactly how long ago they started testing, but they've obviously got big bugs to sort out. They're probably doing 5v5s at the moment and finding stuff. They've got to fix the big bugs. And of course, it's going to come out with small bugs, but how many, you don't know.
Right.
I trust the team, but it's never going to go perfect. And I just, personally, I would have preferred, I hope it's not a fix the bugs and on the 9th, they reckon they'll be done to release on the 10th, if you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Like crunch it like the night before. Like we think we're good. Yeah.
I hope that's not the case. That's why I was wondering if it would be impossible to do that a week earlier, you know, have it ready first, second, and then push it on the 3rd, and then let's start finding stuff because it's still early access. You know, that's the whole point of early access.
I do agree with you too, though. It probably would have been better to give themselves more of a buffer time after the patch because they don't want the new year to start and patch 14 be labeled as still buggy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because people could turn around and be like, yo, it's not patch 14 yet because it's still buggy and it's 2022. What's happening? You know, it's just a thought on my mind.
People will find ways to complain, right?
Always.
But as we dive in here, I'm gonna pause it here on different scenes that I see, right? I'm gonna have it up on the stream, and I want all of us to kind of give our inputs, and I'd love to hear input from all the people in chat live, right? So one of the first things that we see is FaZe. Yeah, we see FaZe running down a lane, and there's actually quite a bit that interests me here. I want to hear some of the first things that y'all hear, if y'all can catch what I'm catching.
I honestly don't see anything that I find interesting in this particular image. There's a lot interesting in this video, don't get me wrong.
But as to this image.
Yeah, I certainly don't want to be down on them because this is great news. There's a lot of good stuff in this video. I thought the music selection for the video was pretty good. Not my favorite music in the world, but I thought it fit FaZe.
Because
that's my gym list on repeat, dude.
I was about to say a Shimby guy that didn't like that K-pop. Hello,
I don't have a gin list. All right, pine trees. The pine trees. I love the aesthetic that they're going for here. Like as a country guy, I look out my window right now. I could see a bunch of fucking pine trees. I'm all about it. So, and this kind of gives me more like Seattle, like really tall fucking redwood, like fucking big old pine trees. I'm all about it. I like the look they're going for here. You have that one that looks like a one dead fucking tree just kind of hanging there.
Yeah, like dead center. Just like a random twig sticking out.
Yep. So, yep, that's the one I was talking about. Exactly. But that's, you mean, where you paused it kind of gave us very limited. I'm really interested in what you're trying to pull out of this because I'm not seeing much more besides pine trees.
So I'll be real with you. Actually, Bren, throw your 2 cents in there before I start talking.
Just darker aesthetic for dusk. That's what I see. And yeah, that's the main thing I see, just a darker aesthetic. Which is nice.
I guess one thing before you say what you want to say. She looks really small in comparison to this tower. Like,
yeah, actually, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's a good point. She is like half the size of the tower instead of like 2/3 where we were at before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are the towers really bigger? Small. Maybe.
Maybe.
Because I'll be honest. If the towers are bigger, I hope to God they actually hurt and chunk, right? Because imagine a bigger tower tickles. Ooh, whack. So I hope that's not the case. But now, so check this. So
could you imagine if that was the tower sound? Whack,
whack,
whack.
Hey, SMS, hit me up. I got your sound clips, and then we're gonna make Mangoose the announcer. That same voice pack, bro. Let's go. And then every single time that somebody dies, you're gonna hear Bren in the back. Poggers.
They lost their vibe.
But no, one of the things that I was gonna mention here that I'm noticing is, for one, yes, the lighting, right? And I think that has to do with kind of what Brendan was saying, how it might look a little bit darker because we do have shadows on those left side stairs. And if you look at the on the far bottom left, you can see a clear distinction to where that light is hitting and where the shadow's casted. Like very, very clear distinctions. I don't know if it's just me, but the tower floor definitely seems more reflective in my eyes compared to before.
It gives you the it's not there right now, but it gives you for future ability to do ray tracing. Would definitely have something that you could do something with there. Like, it's not there now, but you could definitely have something like that later on.
That'd be awesome later. And I do see on here, if you look to the left side of her head, edges of the tower glowing under the darker sides of the map actually looks kind of cool. Very, very good contrast.
Yep.
I like the foliage. I like all these little purple plants and stuff, even though we've seen that before. But the major part that actually intrigued me was behind the traditional dusk wall, because there's a building, a blue wall back there now that we can see behind this wall. So in my eyes, that to me is like one out of two things. Is that just the expanded world, like part of that side of the map that you can kind of see outward that they're kind of building on to make you feel like you're in a world, not this little closed off little section of a map? Or is that maybe something on the sides now? Like, can you really get down to this river area and actually go a little bit further out the side? Kind of like Legacy back in the day had harvesters or something like that.
I mean, that's possible. If you go to the next group of trees there to the right of the middle, down there, you can see right there.
You can see some other sort of structure that opens up right there after the black walls, right in between the tower.
How do you know this isn't mid lane?
Well, I'm just going on a vague assumption. It could be mid lane, but considering I see just like a rock on the side, usually those wall rocks, they've only used them in the past for side lanes. But I mean, it could be. That could be a prime pit that we're looking at behind that wall or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll be real with you. This, for me, gives me the vibe of Dust Side Duo Lane, personally.
Yeah, I get that as well.
Like, whenever you come down.
Yeah, because surely you would see the fog walls at the bottom there if it was mid.
That's a good point. We don't see any fog walls anywhere, considering we're just looking at like the left side of this lane.
Yeah, so it's probably a duo, but I would say it's probably a part of the aesthetic on the outside, I think.
You think it's just like world creation, so when you can like look out?
Yeah, because I've actually got an IRL friend that I got into the game, and he says that when you look outside Duo Lane at the moment, he thinks it looks like a penguin enclosure.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like I'm at SeaWorld, bro. You're not wrong.
You can say Ireland.
Let's go Duo Lane. Eh?
You can say Ireland, friend. You don't have to say IRL. Like it's fine.
That dad joke did not land.
No.
No, but if I ever said, let's go Jewy, you'd be like, oh, penguin enclosure. I'd be like, yeah, penguin enclosure. Can't even argue with it.
Yeah, that duo lane definitely needed a revamp, and it'd be cool to see what they do.
Outside aesthetic.
Now, I'm going to go hit
forward a little bit. Maybe
yes.
We can see.
So, in that specific spot, it only widens up a little bit and then cuts off.
Yeah.
So you can see more of that middle section. I think we start seeing the dawn side walls. I could be wrong because we do see kind of pearly walls on the very, very back. But in the middle, in between them, it almost looks like a knocked down structure. You get me?
Yeah, it looks something
like something like leaning to the side.
Right, yeah.
So that intrigues me as far as map design, right? Because it's just little things like that. Like whenever you're in there, just little shit that catches your eye and be like, that's pretty fucking cool. Where they at? By the Leaning Tower of fucking Pisa. I don't know what to call it. Over there, bro. Go gank them. Now, the next part. What do y'all think about this?
River.
Through
water.
Do some fly fishing.
River with a drop. That's more like a stream, actually. Those are high walls. Those are very high walls.
Are they high, or is she just that short? Like, how short is she? Like, I really feel like she was really short against the tower. I feel like she's short against these walls now. It's just different.
I mean, I can imagine she would be like about the same size as like Twin Blast, Murdock, Sparrow, all the other human-like characters.
I really like it. Honestly,
yeah, I love the fur. I love the green growing out on the sides of the river, like the map, the way they have it designed here. I'm really liking it.
Is it me, or does this specific shot look so much like Monolith?
It does.
a wee bit. Yeah, I guess.
Like, I like it because of the progression, you know, the reflections, the lights, the foliage. Like, I love it. But then at the same time, deep inside, I'm like, fuck, bro. It's like they're getting the reason why I like it is because they're getting closer to Paragon. But at the same time, I want them to kind of start doing their own thing and don't make me feel like I'm in Monolith. You feel me? Make me feel like I'm in your world. Am I the only one that kind of feels that way?
I guess it does look a little bit like Monolith, yeah.
Bearded just said, yes, you're the only one. Yes.
I don't feel that way. I look at this and I don't really. And nothing about this view right here reminds me anything of Monolith.
Really?
That doesn't look like coming out of Duo Lane into the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the raptor pit right there on the side, and then on the left side, you're going to have a buff.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
technically, yes, you have. I mean, the example, like aesthetically, no, I don't. Yes, you have that. Yes, there's Raptor there. Like, that's exactly where we're at. I see that. I know that's where we're at. But like, that doesn't. I don't like. I can't just like take Monolith and just whatever that is called. Putting it over. Like, yep, the exact same thing. I feel the same. I literally, to me, I feel different while looking at this.
And you know what? Worth mentioning. Do you guys see a purple glow on the top right? What the hell is that?
How did Oda's colorblind ass notice that and I didn't?
Odo's colorblind? What?
That is
He's not colorblind, but he has problems with colors.
That is her purple hue hitting off the water, reflecting off the wall.
What are you saying? She glows like a radioactive person or something?
She's got literally you go
no, because then
water and have it reflect off of that. It's gonna literally whatever you wear is gonna have that same reflection.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. At least it shouldn't reflect fucking 7 feet off to the right and 7 feet up. You feel me? Like, damn. Especially when the light is coming from in front of her. Not from the left.
I didn't make the.
I mean, you're not wrong. It literally could be like a oops. You imagine as soon as like Steel walks through there, the entire fucking hallway like glows orange. Bug, hold up. But no, I'm not sure what that is. That could be a simple indicator to kind of show you, hey, that's the prime pit instead. Could be because if they're doing a river straight down the middle, they might be going legacy style. Like, hey, the Raptors are going to be closer to one side and the prime might be closer to the other side. If they are going with that river straight down the middle style.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
So maybe it glows purple, or maybe the wall has like a purple shine to it to kind of give you a visual indicator like, hey, that's where prime is.
Well, slow the video down, back it up a little bit before we get to the river. Slow the video down and see if that purple glow moves at all. And we'll see what goes on.
I was about to say that's the beginning of it. Like, she literally just kind of walks by the purple, but it's barely in frame.
Yeah.
Here's a shot where you can see it really, really glow. Like that looks like deliberate.
Could it be
It looks like streaks almost.
River buff.
Could a river buff? I was just literally just gonna say it. Could it be another river buff right there?
Maybe. Or what if they're trying to design openings that you can traverse through, getting portal over and shit, and they're trying to color code them.
There's one later on in this map, in this video that you can see
that he hops over
in there. That he hops over, so that could be something else as well.
This image specifically, it just looks really good. Like, that's beautiful.
Yes.
It looks awesome, right? Like, I'll be real. Even the moss on the rocks, that shit looks clean.
Yeah, props to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, and how much of a revamp
like this
would consider a new map? You feel me? Because if you basically take the old bones and give it a new body, you can't necessarily. You feel me?
Okay, this definitely, like we've seen, like where Gideon pops through at that one point, that's not there right now.
No. Yeah.
Like,
no, there's a bit done.
They redesigned some shit on the map. This isn't just an aesthetic upgrade. Like,
no, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's still classified under the revamp.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I guess
the exact same. It literally is. You could take the same footprint and pretty much cover it over, like the same footprint over it. It'd be cover the same area.
See, but
inside of that is different. Is still this. I mean,
see, I'll have to disagree with you, because unless they for some reason have two rivers on either side of Raptor and Prime and stuff like that, you get me? Kind of like the new map is. If they stick with a singular river, then that means they had to shift those center assets, the center shrines, Prime, Raptor, all that. So
my guess,
you think it's going to be like on both sides?
I'm guessing it's be on both sides. I mean, when we get farther ahead, you'll see where he pops out. He pops out by one of them. It's either, we don't know if it's river or if it's Raptor or if it's
yeah, so I want to pause it right here, because we do see what looks like a shrine pit in the middle right here.
Right, and it looks like the river is going down towards that.
Yeah,
there's a branch of a river going that way.
Yeah, it looks like a glow on the floor from the mid buff, the mid shrine. Same color as what it is just now.
Yeah, I see it. The little ring. You mean that little light blue glow?
Yeah, the two, light blue spots there.
Oh, so I'll be honest, you might be right. You might be right. This might be like a revamped same section. Like, this literally could be a Prime pit right here, and we're looking at the shrine. We're looking towards mid lane, like the same layout that's there right now. It just visually looks different because assets have been changed and stuff.
I mean, that could be Prime or Raptor technically.
I know. I'm just saying Prime because of that purple glow. Quite frankly,
yeah. Right.
Like, that's just a wing at this point, like wing it,
So Balix has confirmed, there was questions in chat. Balix has confirmed this is in-game footage. This is not like a record, it's them making it on some other thing or whatever. And,
people thought it wasn't
in-game. There was people asking about it, making sure, confirming. So, and Balix has confirmed it. So, I mean, there were people that were saying things that it could be, but I told them it was definitely in-game footage. It's obvious in-game footage. So,
yeah, like she's running around. Now, the next scene, I think this is mid lane.
This is mid lane.
With like cherry blossoms up in the air and shit.
Is it mid lane? That's going to be my theme for tonight. I'm just going to question.
No, bro. You imagine? Like, nah. There's just camps outside of the side lanes now. You caught me.
Maybe there's 2 mid lanes now. Maybe there's 4 lanes on the map. You don't know.
You imagine? Now, I find it interesting. Why is there just red trees on that side? Because they're on dust side, and the walls are red also. Because we see those lanes in the middle that we were just looking at in the previous frame. It looks like neutral fog walls are now clear, and then dusk fog wall are now red. But I still find it funny that the tower is still black and blue. But that's a different conversation to be had.
The tower she looks as big as she should be next to the tower. I think it was just perspective.
Well, you think so? Because once I let her walk down to the actually right next to the tower, it definitely feels like the tower becomes a much bigger presence.
I think it's just perspective.
It could be. Maybe they worked on those camera angles a bit. Definitely could be.
I I do like the fog walls though. The contrast that it adds to the map. I think the orange and red with it is a lot better than if you would have went with the blue or, keeping that theme, that black and blue theme. I think that orange and red definitely fits the side of the map.
Yeah, like dusk, all the ember and shit like that. Because you can see on the actual walls themselves next to the entrance, it looks like that kind of glows a little bit. And you can see it on the left-hand side as well.
Yep.
So maybe that's just something they're incorporating throughout, and maybe the foliage, like the trees on this side, are all going to be red, and the trees on the other side are all going to be blue. That's a touch that's back from Legacy, for those that remember.
A compliment from like an ethereal like lover, somebody who will only play ethereal, won't touch any other game ever in their life. Said, "This looks damn good, I gotta say." So that's a huge compliment, actually, coming from that person.
Yeah, then I'll be honest, it might be a rework, but it looks great. And then we can see on here, look above that red fog wall in the distance. There's some sort of structure sticking out, like Unicron horns sort of vibes, just kind of sticking out of the terrain.
You know what?
You don't know what Unicron is?
I don't think you know what a Unicron is.
That's a fucking Transformers, you boomers. It's a Transformers, you... No, Unicron is a Transformers from the 90s, you boomers. Look it up.
Can you say boomers 4 more times? Can you say boomers 4 more times? Yeah. Yeah, you're shouting out.
Y'all trying to make fun of me because you think I'm trying to say unicorn. I'm not saying unicorn, bruh. Unicron. It's a Transformers. Oh my God.
Boomers.
Yeah, like holy shit, guys.
Please say boomers 4 more times.
Boomer, boomer, boomer.
Could be the wing of a griffin.
A griffin. I can't with you, bro. But no, and then also like far in the back, does that look like mountains to you guys? Almost. Or something. Wait, what are you talking about? You thought the rocks were Prime?
No. I think the rocks are. I think that is like something to reference one of the pits. Literally, I guess it could be Unicron now instead of Raptor. I don't know. Maybe they teamed up with Transformers.
You imagine? And we were talking about IPs to hit up and be like, "Yo, go back, bro. We need a Bumblebee in this bitch."
Does that mean Crunch? Does that mean Crunch?
Yo, Bumblebee Crunch, get me in, bro. Get me in.
Unicron's roll out.
He can only...
Yo, am I gonna have to look up what that is? I'm gonna have to look that shit up. Y'all don't fucking believe me. I'll post a picture later. I'll send it to y'all. Anyway,
Bailey says we should refer to the picture of the map we got. We saw that one time on our one episode.
I mean, yeah, we can go back to it to see the side lane, basically.
Possibly.
He might be referring to like mountains and the sky in the background and shit like that. Now, interesting enough.
Yep.
Am I the only one that notices that FaZe doesn't have a mastery skin in these videos? But here we see Grux and Twin Blast with their mastery.
Well, they're trying to keep her natural aesthetic right now. I completely understand it and I'm okay with it. Like they want what FaZe to be recognized as FaZe. Like you put on something that she's never worn before, people are like, well, I think that's FaZe. I got you. Trying to keep it like original for now, and then maybe later they might show it. Right now she's got her missionary skin on right now, and that's so everybody understands what's going on.
We're gonna make that a thing, I swear.
It's gonna be a thing.
All right, bet. So look, here we can see the 3 fog walls clear as day. Blue, red, and white. What it looks like. Right. Because that's kind of foggy white.
The river. Yep.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about this image right here? Because we do see quite a bit of lighting. We see Grux's slam is throwing up red dust almost. Because I guess that kind of color matches because he's on the enemy team.
Right, yeah, that's because it's because the enemy, or it was like an orange cone, so you know that it was the enemy Grux to stay out of that area. So I'm pretty sure the team one's probably going to be some kind of bluish color.
Probably. and then we see foliage. We see all of the rocks, the river, etc. What do you guys think about it? Brent, go.
Looks great. I like it. I actually do. I wonder why they've got green on the tower. You see on the base of the tower, why it's green.
Oh yeah, that is interesting.
Just a yellow light coming from that fog wall interacting with the blue.
Maybe.
But then
I don't know if you're memeing right now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. That's the red side of the That's the red side of the map, right? Like, wouldn't your towers be blue? Or unless
maybe it's a health indicator. I don't know.
Oh, could you imagine a healthy tower green? The closer it gets to red, the weaker the tower gets.
Maybe, I don't know. I just wondered why it was green.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you. TBH. But I definitely like the way that the phase link looks. I like the way that those Grux animations are looking and everything. You get me? Like, there's a lot to see there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm vibing with it.
I really, really, really like that they're separating out the fog walls with one side being one color, the other side being the other color.
Yes.
Because an idiot like me, I actually do sometimes get confused.
Run into the wrong jungle.
The map you're on. Yeah.
So any kind of indicator like that is a welcome improvement for me.
Well, yeah,
also
especially
really
when
like
you're
that the neutral is gray. I like that.
It's a very nice separator.
I like everything about this image. I think everything looks great. I think everything looks functional, and it's functional and beautiful. I don't get that green. That green kind of throws me off, like you said.
right.
But other than that,
There's a platform on both sides of the lane now, not just one side.
I like the if you're looking from that green base of the tower to the left, to that little pillar with the rocks and the fern sitting up top. Like I like the foliage they're adding there too. Like that's a nice little added going on. But with what we got going on here, I agree with Magus because like you with the fog walls, like you get like with it being a mirror image, pretty much like all you do is you turn around. It's like, okay, you start running. It's like, wait, nope, I'm not running back towards my base. Like, let me turn back around real quick. You know, it does happen. So being able to see that, like, nope, I'm on the wrong side of the map right now.
Yeah. And like somebody in chat just said, fault logos on the fog walls still look very, very clean. I still think having the platform on the left and the right is just going to make better play potentials. You feel me? Instead of just that one platform that was like
the one that kind of extends out. You can be able to go. Yep.
Yeah, that it was like the furthest one away from from the red side, basically.
Yep.
It was always on the left side of your lane, but now there's a left platform and a right one as well.
Yeah.
Mike said Unicron is only orange, not blue. Unicron is orange, actually. Thank you, Mike, for knowing what Unicron is, because these guys had no fucking idea. They thought I said unicorn wrong.
I just looked it up.
Did you?
Just looked up Unicron. Why does he have two horns?
It's just the way that he was designed. I don't know, but you see how like with the horn coming up out of the ground, how it kind of gives that vibe?
Do they not know what Una means in Transformers?
Well, it's supposed to be like the one Transformers. It's like a planet killer because he's the size of a planet. Essentially, it's different. Anyway,
I think Unicron is a play on unicorn, and they fucked up by giving him two horns. So
you imagine?
This is no longer a fault partner panel,
right?
Transformer talk show,
right? And we're trying to get IPs here, ladies and gents. Help me out. So let's focus on this Countess shot. What's up?
Yeah, say back up. I want to see Countess back up a little bit because somebody referenced about Countess having a new skin.
It looks like she's wearing an apron. Could be a new skin. I don't know.
An apron.
Doesn't it? Like she's about to barbecue or some shit.
That is
That's a minion sword. That is a minion sword. You're totally right. Yeah, that's just normal countess then.
That's not a minion sword. That's an apron. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Hey man, she needs a skin with an apron. Give her the chef hat and then 2 spatulas on each side. Get me in.
She's not gonna barbecue. She doesn't even fucking cook her meat. She likes that shit raw.
I mean, I never said she was a good cook. Hello.
She's a fucking vampire, dude. She wants that blood.
Oh my god! And every time she does her cleave, she just throws barbecue sauce everywhere.
I give it to her cleavage raw.
I can't with him, bro. Yo, how do y'all feel about this though? Because is she standing on the river right now?
Yes, I would say
under the assumption, because I don't see any water, so this might be like right after river, right, or getting on their half.
I'd say it's river.
Because if she is on river, isn't that kind of far from to the next tower? Under the assumption that if it is river, that same exact distance is behind you.
Yeah,
I guess you could. Yeah, I don't know if we go.
Because these minions look small in this lane.
We'll see where the base of the tower is, like where it starts, because it might just be on that crest just before it. Which, if it is, it's not too bad.
Maybe the tower is definitely. I mean, not the tower. The lane's definitely feel wider. I'm not sure if it is.
It definitely does feel wider. Yes.
This is. It looks like this. Oh, see, and look here. The edge of the tower is red here.
This is bad.
So it might be a health indicator. As we see that Astro Gideon gets stunned.
Yeah, but that's the other side of the map, though.
Yeah, now we're seeing mid, but
that was dawn
side. Yep. Which I'll be real, like the lighting does such a that lighting does such a big fucking help. Because, like, for example, on the darker areas of the map, it's nice that all these glowing animations, like from the phase beam and shit like that, like they all stand out. But then it looks like here on mid, correct me if I'm wrong, whenever she's chasing, that looks pretty damn well lit. Oh no, there's a little bit of shadows there. So it looks like maybe like a fixed sun sort of vibes. You know what I mean? Not like anything dynamic or anything like that.
Possibly.
But yeah, like look right here in that where she's pulling Twin Blast. Look at the distance from river to the tower. It seems fairly short. Or fairly standard for what we're used to, right?
Yeah.
Standard, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say regular.
But then as soon as we just fast forward it a bit, and then we're here, that seems definitely further, in my opinion, if this is right at river.
It just seems like solo lane. I mean,
yeah, I don't think it's too long. Definitely.
You think so? You think it's probably still about the same range as solo is right now?
Yeah, I'd say it's similar, because if you remember, solo lane right now is like there's a crest in between, which can make it look smaller. Whereas if you're in a dip, it's going to look further. I think if that works right. Yeah, I'm going to say it works right.
No, I mean, that makes sense, because you'll, like, for a change, you're actually able to see the other tower, where before, if you were all the way at your tower, that line of sight being blocked definitely, kind of affects your perception of the size of everything. But yeah, like we can see the edge of the tower on that one is clearly red. What were you going to say?
What lane is that, though? Is that lane where she's chasing Gideon? What lane is that? Because I would have thought, where's the fog walls at that? Where's the fog wall? Like, I'm not seeing are we that zoomed in?
I think we're that close to where the fog walls are to the left and the right here.
It's definitely mid, because you can see the drop down point into mid, which is there at the moment.
And that's why I literally think it's mid myself, but I'm looking at it and I'm looking for that. Like I talk about how they had the rock and the fern sitting on top of it. Like that's not anywhere that I can see. Like I would have definitely thought I would have seen something of that.
Well, we definitely saw that rock fern thing on the dust side, because you feel me? Maybe the dawn side is much more cleaned up.
Possibly. I could, and if they have that, if they did that to the map too, it's not like straight mirror image. That'd be really cool as well.
True.
Because as of right now, even though it's dawn and dusk, if this plan is here, this plan is here. You know,
Yeah, like they just flipped it.
So if one is supposed to be more like overgrown foliage, you know, Ebenezer Scrooge don't take of his yard, you know, type shit, and the other one's like, hey, we actually prune our stuff and take care of it over here, and then
Hey, look at it. Look at this freeze frame. I like it.
I do like it.
But yeah, and we see Countess with a green buff too. So I mean, is this an indicator that she might be a valid solo laner? The next Morgesh?
So stop giving that.
I mean, Muriel's a valid solo later. Why not phase?
Build her damage and zone the fuck out of anybody that you're going up against.
I was talking about Countess. Don't give people that
Can we
idea
stop
about
talking
Countess.
about ranged offlane, please? It's a very touchy subject for me.
Wait,
Nobody
what?
likes that shit except for people that play ranged off lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, range off lane is definitely
Their
AIDS.
opinion's invalid, so
And their opinion doesn't count.
yeah.
Hey, is-
basically.
I would say there's a wide range of people that enjoy it.
Hey, what do you guys see like that? You know how there's on Dawn side above your core, it's like a big center orb that's floating there, right? You guys notice the designs over here at the bottom of that orb? I don't know if you can see that right next to the word date.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Were those?
Are you about to say it looks like a mustache?
No, bro. I was just gonna say, like, were those designs there? I don't think everything is a mustache, Mangoose.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say that does not look like a mustache.
It looks like
No,
the
I don't
letter
think that was.
G.
I don't think that was there before. I don't think
Yeah,
that was there
I think it was just like a floating blue orb, right? But now there might be like more designs to it to make it maybe a little bit more intricate and stuff, right?
Possibly.
I don't know how to. Let me go to the next part. I want to hear y'all's opinions here on Gideon jumping over the wall. We're just gonna focus on this little piece right here. I want to see what you guys think.
Hold on. Stop. Somebody pointed out. That was a horrible stop.
Oh, I just backed it up. My bad. Because I know what you're gonna say based off of the chat, but if I stop it, the fans stop spinning.
Oh, right. You know, as I was saying, I wanted to point it. Somebody pointed it out in my stream. That fan, like, the 3 times I watched this before I watched it on my stream, like they're like, "Oh, I love the fans." I'm like, people who enjoy it? Is that what do you mean by fans? You know, they're like watch right here. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's like a windmill.
Fucking fan. Like, what is going on? So it kind of gives you like a little industrial type feel to it as well. Because why would you have a fan there? Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, like the world's alive or something. Sort of vibes. I like it personally.
Yeah. But I'm all about using the verticality in different areas for people who have, you know, maybe a blink or whatever to jump over that as an escape route or whatever, or to get somewhere faster, or, you know, and I enjoy the Astro skin.
Bro, look at how small Gideon looks compared to that wall he just jumped over.
Right?
Dude, I really, really do feel like scale got adjusted.
I think so too, but I'm willing to bet the other side, he doesn't look like it, like he's, especially if you see stairs there, right? But I don't can you think he could go back through?
I mean,
His portal would be able to go high enough to go back through?
maybe.
I'd say so.
Because from the other side, he got pretty good.
Yeah, that is
he
the
got pretty good
interesting.
height there. And let's say under the assumption, right? Like the jungle behind is like the jungle behind that wall is a bit of a raised surface. We know that simply by the stairs on the right hand side, right?
Right.
So it's a good question. Like, would he be able to like jump up and teleport over, or just clear, you know, get a clear line and teleport over it? Or is that one of those one-way commits that they like to add, like in Prime Pit, for example?
I would prefer that. You're one way. That's you're able to go this way. You can't go the other way. Like,
Just like kind of like forcing you towards mid.
well, him right now, he's like the most easiest escapability, like mid laner there is. You know, like, oh sweet, I'm gonna gank Gideon. Like, motherfucker's already gone, and you drop 3 rocks on me, like some bitch. Like, he's already done so much damage to me, and I did nothing to him because he was able to escape. You know, and it's crazy how easy it is to escape. So I think if he were to jump over, and next thing he jumps over, like, oh fuck, I just jumped into a team fight. He can't be like, well, obviously it's the cooldown, but you know what I'm saying, like, or whatever. He come running out of Prime Pit. He can't jump through there to escape. You know, I think that would be something kind of like just a little bit to hold him down.
Interesting. Yo, Brett and Bren, Mangoose, what do you guys think about this Astro Gideon skin in action?
I think it looks more Astro than Iron Man. Like, that's what I thought when I first saw this skin. But looking at it in game, it does look very astronaut. I think it looks really good. Everything about like the map, the skins, phase, everything looks good here. Everything looks good.
I actually do have a negative thing to say about it, and it's very small. Something to say, though.
Just shut your mouth.
If you have nothing to say, don't say anything at all. Right. You see his arms got this blue color to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then give him a blue color glow with his little passive that he's got going on right now. Don't keep that purple passive there the whole time. It doesn't have to be, you know, that works for his missionary skin, but it doesn't have to be every skin. Have it change with the certain, you know, skins he's using. If you're using the Astro skin, give him this like blue glow with his passive.
Do you notice the effect that comes from his eyes whenever she blinds him?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
What is like his eyes are glowing?
Yeah.
What?
Right now.
Like, my boy got neuralized and his eyes started fucking glowing. You can see that. You can see his eyes and that blindness look as well, to kind of give other people that visual indicator. This person's blind. That's kind of cool.
Right? That's a good freeze frame right there too, though. That little blue glow she's got around her now, like, that's fucking pretty badass.
Now, this is under the assumption that is still a blind. I mean, I think so, especially if like their eye. You feel me? Because they could have kept the animation but added a different effect to it. Like, what if it doesn't fully blind you now? What if it literally like a concussion grenade? It kind of dazes you, but you can still kind of see around you a little bit.
Have you seen the?
But I don't know. I think they would keep the blind.
Yeah,
it's pretty strong.
Have you seen the way they did it? They do it in Overprime, where it's just like it's not a blind so much as a blur of your screen.
No. Like a freeze frame almost of your screen, sort of vibes.
No, it just blurs everything really bad. Like you said, a concussion grenade.
Okay. Interesting.
It's like a Gaussian blur if you're using DaVinci.
I gotcha. I relate with that comment. Thank you. I mean, there's different ways that they could go about it. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but back in the Paragon days, they literally just blinded you. Like, your screen went white and then it slowly faded back.
Yeah.
So there are different ways that they could go about it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about her kit. I'm getting a lot of flack from the community about her kit and how much CC this game just introduced to this game when it already had so much CC as it is.
Okay, interesting. I'm down to talk about this. Let's talk more.
So we got a stun. Well, we just saw that she was able to stun Gideon, right? She was able to link to him and able to stun him, right? She's got her beam that does a slow, then a root, right? Is what happens with that, if I'm correct. You know, this is obviously all speculation. We can't guarantee that's what happens, but that's what it did before. Then you got her blind, which would definitely be a soft CC. And then what would be her ultimate? Her ultimate was what again?
Her ultimate was it was that Super Saiyan mode. Yeah. How her and the person she was tied up to would get like that extra attack speed, extra regen, just crackhead mode. Low key.
But then she also has the ability to, it's still CC. She's able to pull her ADC, you know, or throw her ADC into a fight, pull her ADC out of a fight. You know, it's there's a bunch of CC just being added right into that. A lot of people are not a big big fan of it right now.
Well, that's a rough conversation
But you'd have to change our whole kit.
Yeah.
And
like it's a rough spot to be in, because at that point you having to choose between rework the character or give people the character that they want.
Or you introduce her when CC is not such a big deal right now, or such a negative or sore subject right now. Bring, after we've introduced a lot of non-CC heroes, whatever, that don't have that, CC's not that strong of a meta. You bring her in when CC is a strong meta to the point it is now, and then you just introduce more CC, and that's the issue. But if we would have like basically diluted the CC for a little bit, bringing other characters in, and then bring her in, it wouldn't have been as known.
I can see that.
Not going to be a problem.
CC wins games, and you get rewarded for grabbing characters with CC. For example, you would grab a Fae with that slow and the ultimate that pulls everybody. Like I said that, Bailey. So we don't know for sure, but that's all we can only speculate what we know the beam did before. So yes, it can definitely be something different. I mean, even then, like I don't necessarily have a problem with a character with CC being integrated, right? The bigger problem I have are the CC immune characters, or that immune for 1 second or 0.5 seconds and stuff. And how is that gonna affect all this, right? Because she might be able to tether you and then stun you, but Boris or Steel at the right moment, now they're not stunned because they timed that shit perfectly. You feel me? Like it doesn't necessarily mean she's gonna be 100% oppressive, right? But I also worry as a duo lane main, are Decker, Muriel, and Narbash gonna be able to compete with this long range beam of death, pull you to safety, aggro phase that pulls my carry, and we're fighting now, bitch. Like, is Narbash, after all those nerfs, gonna be able to withstand? Do you feel me?
My biggest concern too with this possible link to stun is that it's such an obvious indicator for somebody that you're queued up with, like just random. Like whenever you're queued with somebody and you're in comms, like you could say, I'm about to throw my Decker stun, and then they run up, you throw the stun, and they take advantage of it. You can't do that solo queued, right? Like you can't tell. It would be just such a pain in the ass to type to somebody, I'm about to Decker stun and then stun.
Yeah, right? Like a delayed reaction of the sorts.
Her link is tied to that person. That is a very clear indicator that they are about to be stunned. And that's going to give any ADC the perfect opportunity to run up and take advantage of that stun.
It's a good way to know who to target, even though she might be exposed.
What about if she's linked? She might take more damage, So if she's linked to that person, then she'll take more damage, gives it kind of risk for reward.
That's spicy. They both take more damage. You imagine that?
Well, yeah.
That'd be a cool mechanic.
The 5 second stun, you can either just turn around and start blopping phase in the face so she removes it, or...
Yeah, it's one thing we were considering too. Like, if that is, like the whole link stun, you think it's going to be like a time system? Like link them. If they stay linked for 5 seconds, they get stunned? Or is it going to be like, hey, I have to like double cast and then I trigger the stun?
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be a time frame thing. You gotta you as the opponent have to try to break the link, however, by whatever means necessary or whatever. I think is how that would work. But I remember vaguely when they were changing things around in Paragon, Gideon. They were testing things with Gideon. Gideon had a link as well, and his was a
tether
drain or something. Yeah, he had a little
slow
tether that he would do. Yep. So. I'm glad they took that away from him. He definitely didn't need that. That was too much for his kit. Like he definitely didn't need that much going on. So I definitely prefer the other rock they gave him. But I remember that happening. So I wonder if it's going to be something similar to that.
I don't know. Maybe. Like I'll be like
you would say that, Mike. You're fucking Gideon Main over there,
right? But actually, he's not wrong. Gideon that did less damage and just provided more utility. I would have preferred that instead of Duke Nukem over here just dropping rocks out of every fucking pocket that he has. And my boy's got cargo pants on. But no, like I do agree with somebody in chat though. He said boomer in the mouth. I do agree with somebody in chat though. It is worth mentioning. She's got all this potential, right? The potential enemy tether, the potential ally pull, the beam, the blind. But that means if you catch a phase out of position, besides that blind, she's shit out of luck.
Okay, take
so
back to
Richter.
Paragon. Take back to Paragon. Like that's the way she was in Paragon. Like you knew that if you were up against a phase duo, that you needed to kill the phase before you had any chance of killing the ADC.
Yeah.
Was it easy to kill phase? Fuck no. Because she has a slow route, she has her blind, and she has speed boost with her ultimate. It wasn't that fucking easy to just, people would talk about it. Oh, it's easy. You just kill phase first. It's not that fucking easy.
Got to do it in phases.
I hate him.
You.
I hate him.
This fucking guy.
Even Brent shaking his head.
Brent doesn't like dad jokes. I don't know why you think he does. He hates it.
Because he always gets into dad jokes battles with you, bro. I can't help but just
He brought it on to himself one time and he hasn't done it since. He's like, nope, I can't. Once he realized Google only works so fast, he's like, I can't do this.
But yeah, let's talk about kind of what you were mentioning there for a second, Bearded. Why phase? I didn't necessarily think that we needed another support.
Team's a new phase in the game, and they're trying to take advantage.
He's so happy with himself.
I tried so hard to keep a straight face, but I looked at Mango's doing this.
Mango's almost dropped his fucking beer. He's like, son of a bitch.
This fucking guy. No, she's popular.
She is popular. I don't know. I don't think supports needed love, in my opinion, when it comes to characters. I really still think we need an offlaner. I mean, I know they made the adjustments that, hey, this guy counts as an offlaner. This guy counts as an offlaner. You know, technically everybody counts as an offlaner nowadays, but like, I really think that we needed love in the offlane.
Feng Mao would have been awesome.
Happy with it.
A good Feng Mao, that would have been sick. Like a rework on him, show us something interesting. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned, not necessarily give us somebody with like crazy CC. Well, you know, like Feng Mao has a slow. You get me? Or they could have literally, they could have pulled another Boris almost. Just be like, hey, we're gonna give you an old character with a brand new kit. Tell us what you think. Like they easily could have thrown Terra in there and reworked her whole kit. You get me? Like there were other potentials, or throw Zinx and make her better. Show us what you can do as a company. You feel me? Plenty of options to choose from. I don't know why phase. Maybe because she's arguably the flashiest. You know, like she's got her beam, her tether, in a patch that where you're basically trying to show people how much better the game looks now and how you're making improvements visually as well. Maybe she's just a good pick for that, you know?
I mean, yeah, no, it's. I'm okay with it. Like I said, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. Like I said, I don't think it was needed, but you don't always have to go. You know, as a sports fan, you know, when you're drafting, you can't always draft for highest need. You also have to take the best player. You know, so maybe because like right now, a lot of patch 14 is for to keep new players. New players come in, we got to keep them, right? When they get here, we got to make sure they stay. Whatever for some reason they're coming and they're leaving. Why are they leaving? We got to figure out how we're going to keep them, right? So a lot of just player retention.
Pull them back in with FaZe, Lamar. Right.
So, well, nice. I like that. Yeah, get a little link there. So, no, but I think the FaZe was also for the people, the current player base or because we do have a lot of the Paragon refugees here, and it's a little something, that she is, like Mangu said, she is really well liked, so it's kind of like, all right, this is for the new people. Here's something for the current player base.
Yeah, probably one of the most picked supports, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, I know, especially towards the end, you would see a FaZe almost in every single fucking match that you played. Like, she was probably one of the most picked supports towards the end of the life of Paragon. Arguably.
Oh, she's...
Yeah, I was going to say that because she's kind of broken. But...
Yeah, she's fucking easy mode.
She was my favorite support because I was an ADC main in Paragon. She was my favorite support, except for the people who wanted to troll. Like, I couldn't stand the people who just like were playing to, here, I'm gonna throw you into something you don't want to be in, or like, oh, you're about to get a kill, let me pull you out. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? That's what I didn't like about her.
She's not even strongest with an ADC though. She's strongest with like a Chimera or a Greystone.
Yeah,
true. Giving a Chimera an option to get out instead of just the W key, that was always very, very strong. It almost gave you a reason to actually run Chimera a little bit. We got a FaZe, okay, I can run Chimera. That bitch can pull me out just in case,
There was a downside to her too when she was released in Paragon. She didn't have access to Purity Sensor, which was the only way to counter Aurora. So you had Aurora was just like crazy OP at one time, and then everybody figured out, oh, I could just run Purity Sensor on my support, cleanse her ultimate, everybody's good. And then FaZe, so people stop running Aurora. FaZe comes in, and everybody's like all about running FaZe until Aurora mains realized, holy shit, that support doesn't have access to Purity Sensor now. I can run Aurora again. There's no drawbacks now because she can pull from whatever card pool she wants. She can take whatever item she wants. I mean, there's no Aurora either for her to counter FaZe. I'm just saying she's going to be very, very hard to balance and make it to where it's going to be very hard to pick a Muriel or a Narbash or a Decker without getting flamed by everybody else on your team for not picking FaZe.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen what she's going to be like in game, but if she's it's all about her kit, right? Her kit looks exactly the same with the addition of a stun. That's what it looks like to me from what we see here. And if that's the case, she's going to be by far the strongest support because there's no reason not to pick her. In Paragon, there was a reason not to pick her for a while. In Fault, there's going to be no reason not to pick her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, as soon as she gets implemented, I don't see why anybody, unless they're like, you know what, let's make it interesting. Let's try a little bit extra this match. I don't see why somebody would say, hey, pick Narbash over FaZe. TBH. Now, if they make her even more mana hungry than Narbash and Richter and all that shit, you feel me? Imagine she's got all these abilities, but like one full sweep of all her abilities like drenches her mana. So you gotta like actively build mana on her and such. I don't know. There might be ways around balancing her, but like you said, I don't see anybody saying, "Oh yeah, this is a steel support match for sure." Like it's gonna be rough, bro. And then here's my thing. Even after all this, I think the part that makes me happiest about this entire thing is the fact that
Mangus.
Oh, Rampage True Chad support.
Talking about that.
True.
We were literally talking about that before we started the stream.
True. But I'm happy we have a date. Like, the one thing that they've avoided for a year and a half is to give an actual official date. I'm excited, but that is a double-edged sword because they can't fucking miss that date. They gave us a date, bro. On that date, you better give us something.
I mean, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I can't 100% guarantee it, but I just feel like they've learned enough as it is. They've already did the insinuation that 14 was coming earlier, and it didn't. So the fact that we now have a date, that tells me that things are solidified and they're happy. Like, right, they could pretty much. I feel, I could be wrong, but I feel like they could give us 14 right now. But there's things they want to do with advertising it and all this stuff going on that they want to do, showcasing it and everything. They want to do stuff, and that's why I feel like that's where we're at.
Speaking of, and I'm trying to be very, very positive this episode. And I don't know why, but I am. But that Facebook announcement they had Phase's release set as fucking October 29th.
Yeah.
Pretty sure goddamn patch 14 was supposed to come out October 29th. Something went wrong.
No confirmation. Technically, no
confirmation, but
it wasn't an announcement. It didn't happen.
Anybody that sees that is going to be like, oh, okay, buddy.
Okay. Oh man, but I'm excited. But you know what this kind of tells me from a marketing side? They need to officially have a date in order to plan free weekends, in order to plan Steam front page. Like, whenever you approach situations like that, Twitch drops, whatever it may be, whenever you approach situations like that, all that shit needs to get approved weeks, if not months in advance, right? So that to me tells me if they are publicly okay with releasing a date, that means that they needed the date, because we know that they've been avoiding dates. You feel me? They've been avoiding dates harder than they've been avoiding COVID, straight up. And now they're giving us a date.
We've been social distancing with dates, all right?
Yeah. But now they're giving us a date. So to me, that tells me it's not because they wanted to give us a date. It's because they needed an official date anyway. And if they have an official date for Steam, for Twitch, whatever it may be, we might as well announce it, because we can't go back. That's the day. We got to have the shit ready by that day. That's the day that they gave us. So mark my words, on that day, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a Twitch drop event or a Steam free weekend or a Steam front page or some shit like that.
I see what you're saying, but I disagree with you, because I think that with the mindset that they had before, I think they would have just said, we don't need to give them a date. And they wouldn't. Those are the dates they had for those events. Yes. But why would they start giving us a date now? Because like you said before, they were not, we know they don't like dates. So,
and that's what I'm saying. I think they're only giving us a date because that's a date that they've already made a commitment with somebody else besides us.
But they had those same dates would they even for right. They go back to Morgash. We didn't really have a date for Morgash. It was like literally the week before, like, hey, this is when Morgash is coming out. We didn't get a date ahead of time like this, and they still had to have, because that was the Wintervale event. Or no, sorry, Rick.
No,
go back to Rick.
We did. I was gonna say we did have the Wintervale event that was planned with Twitch and everything, and there was a date.
Get a date, right? But that date was like really close to that time frame. It wasn't 4 weeks out.
I mean, 4 weeks. So we're not 4 weeks out.
It's what,
like
11 days.
When we first got it, it's 3 weeks out.
Are you talking about from when it got announced, like last Saturday, for example?
Yeah, when it got announced, yeah.
So so
close to 4, maybe 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I see no reason why they would be giving us dates now, besides us bitching and complaining that we want dates. You feel me?
Well, I'm okay with not getting dates. I'm okay with not getting dates. You are the guy that wants the dates. I'm okay with you, dude. Just let me know it's coming. I don't care. Give me information. That's what I want. I want information. You want dates. I don't care the date. Just tell me it's coming.
Yeah. That's not what a lot of people were thinking at the time. They wanted something to look towards. So I don't think they didn't give a date because they didn't want to. It's just they want to give the date, and they want to make sure they provide that service on that date. So I think Balak said in the chat, when we knew the date, you got the date. I think that is literally it. I don't think, yes, they might have plans with free weekends, Steam front store, all that stuff. Yeah, but I think they've realized what they've done in the past, and now they're just giving us a date because they know they can give us it.
Felix, when are we going to get a Bren
I
announcer pack?
know we're going to get Bren a hat.
Ooh. Ooh.
Shots
Get
fired.
Ryan Redden here right now.
Where is he at?
Yeah, I want a Bren announcer pack.
Okay, well, if we got the date when they knew the date, I want to know what was up with that 1029 shit.
Yeah, right. Like that's
fat finger.
Yeah, that's under the assumption that you guys found out the date a week ago, right?
What's that?
Well, they said they knew the date of December 10th. That's the day, right? December 10th. I'm not saying that wrong.
10 December.
Thank you. So if they knew the December 10th date, Saturday last week, right? Because they're telling us that they just told us we know when they know. So last Saturday is when they found out about that date. Then what's up with the end of October situation, or what's up with talking about patch 14 back in September?
Because you've got an internal date, obviously.
I mean, yeah.
But you can't be completely crystal clear on this. Otherwise, you're just going to build up people's hopes to potentially knock them down. It's they've got an internal date. They probably said to each other, I don't know. I obviously wasn't there, but they probably said to each other, we're going to aim for December 10th, or we're going to aim beginning of December. And then
I don't disagree with you. I just think that might be a bit misleading of a statement to say, is what I'm getting towards. Like the whole we know when we know you know. I don't.
Bailey said, I designed the banners ages ago and had to put a date on it back then. It meant nothing.
Well, that's that then.
Anyhow, let's talk about
You better come correct whenever you post that shit, because people like me are going to read way too much into it.
True. That is true. But I don't know. I gotta say, and I even told Balix this, whenever I first saw the video, I was like, yo, the video is well made. I have no gripes about the video. Whether it was the different scenes and stuff, I do kind of wish that, kind of like the Grux video, they would have at least explained to us a little bit how each ability worked. You get me? Even just a brief little description that we could pause and kind of look at. We're kind of left up in the air, and whenever they make posts oh, how are you gonna build her? Well, how about you tell me, how does she fucking work? I'm not gonna sit here and be I'm gonna build red. She skills off energy. Never mind. That's my thing.
They sent that post yeah, how would you build her? I'm like, I don't know. How much mana does she use? If she mana hungry, I'll have to put mana lens on her. I don't know. Give me information.
Maybe
I
give
need
us some
more.
patch notes. I don't know.
I need something to go off of this. I'm gonna build white on her because I'm taking her as a support. That's the answer. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it definitely is a bit backwards, like Mike is saying in the chat. I would have preferred to see more about it. But as far as trailers go, I don't have a problem with this trailer. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. I did think it was, I was bamboozled by the premiere because I did not expect the premiere for a 30-second clip. That shit, I literally thought I fucked up whenever I was watching and painting and bullshit. And then out of nowhere, it's black screen. I was like, it's either over or I fucked up. I pressed something. It can't be over that quick. I literally just started watching, glance away for a split second, and that shit's gone. It can't be.
I was painting too while I was watching Phase.
Yes, yeah, I believe you, Mingus. 100%. Can't with you, bro.
Paint this town red, paint his wife white.
I can't, bro.
Don't you quote Kid Rock to me? You get that Kid Rock bullshit out of here.
He's from Michigan, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I can't with you, Brad.
And yet you're proud.
Yeah.
And yet you're proud of that state. And yet you're proud of that state.
I love this state, dude. Let's go.
Yo, so how about this? They also hit us up here shortly after. Technically, when was this post announced? Was it today? Yesterday? Was it today?
Today.
The pictures of the items?
Yep.
What do you guys think about this?
Well, 4 of them we've seen already.
Yeah, true.
Yep. 4 of them we've seen already. 2 of them are new to me, so I'm interested with the other 2. The other ones I've already seen.
Which 2 haven't you seen?
The 4 and 6 are the 2 new ones. 1, 2, 3, and 5 were already introduced in one of the blogs or whatever we had.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, hey, what do you think these are? And then it was okay. We debated that over one of the Follow Partner panels, and that is like never to be seen again until now. It's like, oh yeah, here's these things, and it's like, okay, sweet, we get to see them again. So I don't know. I'm excited to see, because the whole vote thing, right? They want you to vote. So I commented on Twitter. I want to see 6. I want to know stuff about 6. 6 is the most interesting one to me. And I maybe said 4. Maybe I said 4 because 4 looks like it's going to do some damage too. Maybe it's going to be like health damage. I would like
to see some more damaging items in the green aspect.
Right. So yeah, 4 is definitely interesting. I don't know. I was stuck between 4 and 6 because those are totally 2 that I haven't seen before. I was interested with those ones. The other ones, I've seen them before. I've already talked about them. I want to talk about more.
I wonder why they're showing us items that they've shown before, like recycled material. You feel me?
It's probably for people that are new and don't want to look back that far. Maybe.
I could see that.
Right.
Be like, hey, in case you missed, because if you remember, the chest plate was a different week. The purple gun was a different week. The blue staff looking thing that we mentioned, well, that was a different week. So
yeah, I still don't.
It's a possibility. I don't either.
I can't even call it a staff. It almost looks like it, like the little things. I don't know. I think it's a fucking amulet. It looks like it could be a necklace.
Could be a Unicron.
I hate him, bro. Get me out.
You know what I like about these items? It's very clear what aspect they are.
Yes.
Like we had that problem when we were playing the customs. Like I said, all purple. It's hard. It's like Eldritch Flame. Is that purple? Like you can't really tell.
Yeah, a couple of those Eldritch Flame, and there's another one that's like APOC. I think it is. Like you can't tell if it's purple or not, or maybe it's not APOC. Maybe it's another one. There's another one that like you can see. Like wait, maybe it's possibly. So.
Felix said in the chat, the point is to choose the one you know the details of. We never said that they did in the blot. What they did in the blot.
The one you want to know. Yes, I know that's what the point of it is. I'm just saying, like, I've already said what I think that they are or what they're going to be. We've already kind of talked about 1, 2, 3, and 5. 4 and 6 are brand new to me, so I'm interested in those 2. I'm not interested in the other ones.
I mean, can I just be honest? No. This vote is incredibly unnecessary because you're asking me to vote about which one you should tell me more about. 4 of these you told me about half a year ago. Why don't you just fucking tell me what it does?
You didn't tell it. No, all they did is show you them. They didn't tell you anything about that before.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They showed me the picture, like, you know, maybe one was 4 months ago, maybe one was 3 months ago, maybe one was 5 months ago. But the point is, I've seen 4 out of 6 of these a while ago. I would have much rather preferred to be like, hey, do you want to find out about 4? Do you want to find out about 6? The rest of it, I'm like, yo, we should just get a post about the purple gun saying what it is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like recycling content right now. Like you've already showed it to us. Again, you're just showing it to us again.
And now you're making us vote on one.
Right.
So then it's like, what about the other 5? Guess you're going to have to wait. Or be like, hey, now which one of the other 5 do you want to see this week? Like, ooh, that cabrón. Like, yeah.
No, like I said, I think when I voted on Twitter, I think I voted with 4. I mean, I used to be the Cooch 4, so why wouldn't? I mean, it makes sense that I would go with the 4, right? But no, I like Mangoose. I wanted to do the whole damage. I liked the look of 6. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a gauntlet or what it is, but it looks pretty fucking badass. But for the idea of 4 and being like something that gives you health and damage is like, okay, we need some more damage items in the green aspects. I want to see what that does.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
What I do want to say is that we were speaking earlier about their wanting to push on their socials. And I just see it's not the best way to do it. Like you've said, they could have done it better, but they are pushing socials. If this wasn't there, would you be saying, what were those items again? I'm going to go 5 months ago. I'm going to go 4 months ago, like you said, and search up each one.
No, bro, because patch 14 has been talked about for so long. Nobody gives a fuck about what those items were.
But they might now. Because they're coming on December 10th.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. More of a, hey, in case you forgot, let's bring attention back to this. Like,
yeah, why not?
You're focused on this. Focus on this hand now, though. Hey, look at these items. Let's talk about these items.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to get in touch with the community through their social.
You could have put in 4 brand new items that we've already that's going to be introduced as well, unless there isn't that many more, or whatever. I would think that there's going to be more than just 4 and 6 are going to be new, right? The other ones we've already talked about, right? That's why I'm saying they're not new. So give me new something else that I haven't seen yet, right? And let's talk about these items. Now ask me to vote on one of these.
Yeah, but the thing is, you still don't know what they are. You still don't know what
care anymore. I literally don't care anymore.
I expected to find out what the item was a week after they showed me the picture.
Patch notes. Patch notes is what I'm going to find out. I
just see it as a way to communicate with the community.
I want to see more awesome art. I've already seen that art. It literally is recycled content. Show me something different.
You want to engage with the community? Hold a contest. Let's make a contest for the next item. Submissions. What's that art gonna be? Get people to post it with this tag, etc. The one with the most likes at the end of the day is gonna get considered into like the top contenders or whatever. You feel me? Like there's other ways to do it besides. You remember that picture I showed you? You remember that one? Oh, and that one too? Oh yeah. You remember that one I showed you, but I didn't tell you?
But
yeah. But that's essentially what this is. You remember those 4? We're gonna add 2 more and still only tell you about 1 out of the 6.
Right now, I mean, it's right. I just see it as a way of
you say right now. Socials. When are you gonna get the other ones?
I don't know.
Apparently on the 10th. Hopefully on the 10th.
Patch notes.
Hopefully on the 10th.
Does it matter? I'd like to find out about 1. And if that's a way of doing it, then yeah, sure.
So then, all right. So let's say everybody voted on 4, right? So they're going to show us another Twitter post of just the 5 that are last. Now vote again. Which one do you want to see next? And then we're like, all right, here you go. Here's this. I don't know. I literally, this whole show is about speculation. And I'm just saying, show me just the 2 new ones. I've already forgot about those pictures and I don't care because I haven't asked about them ever again. Why do I care now? Like the 2 new ones, I liked them. The art looks great. I'm excited. The other ones, I'm like, okay, yes, I've seen this before.
I'll be real.
This way.
But they're offering you...
I would say just get rid of the vote.
And just say...
Well, like...
that's even worse, actually.
Well, no, but we got 2 weeks from now. Well, we got 2 weeks from now. It's like, like legit just... But no, just you want to tell me about an item? Be like, instead of posting this vote for something, tell me about the item and then ask people, how would you use this item? Then 3 days later, tell me about a different item. We're bringing this one back, etc. And then keep on going and then leave 4 and 6, the ones that are brand new, for the week right before the patch to generate even more hype. It's like, hey, it's not just the items we had for you. We have even more items waiting. And who knows if there's more after that? Build it up. You easily could do that. This whole, hey, I'm going to put 6 pictures, vote on the one you want me to tell you about. It just seems like the laziest fucking poll.
That's fair.
That's just how I would have done it.
I mean, but the way you would have done it, that's not necessarily the way that somebody else might not pick it up. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying maybe somebody might turn around and go, well, I wish they did just show us all 6 so I could pick the one that looked the coolest. I'm not interested in this green one. I don't use anybody that's green. I want to see the purple one.
That's the case. They should have used a red item too then with one of those 6, because as an ADC main, none of those items I give 2 shits about.
So you don't vote. Somebody that's
don't vote, Bearded. Stay the fuck home.
Community engagement, though. You want community engagement. If that's, I'm just saying, you literally give me 3 green items. One that I've already seen before,
but
and no ADC items. What do you mean? It's a fucking tank item. It literally gives me. It's a chest plate. I'm guessing it gives you armor. Just a shot in the dark is going to give you armor. I could be wrong.
All the chest plates give you armor, bro. Like, it could be wrong, but
wait for the patch notes to see what it does. But I'm 100% guessing.
How do you know the other ones aren't? How do you know some of the other ones aren't ADC items though?
Exactly. That's
according to Bearded,
I build blue.
According to Bearded, I'm the only human ever that decides to build purple on a carry.
I mean,
like,
I love how you specify human. Like, there's other things that played this game.
Yeah, yes, I will not assume. There's some weird ass people out there, bro. I will not assume that they are human.
People.
Yes. But no, man.
I find weird about it. Like, I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. I like that you get to vote on which one you see. I just think it's weird that they showed them a long time ago. Because, like, can you imagine if, like, League of Legends showed a picture of a new item and then didn't explain what it was for
fucking 4 months, 5 months? Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying.
That would never happen. And they need to treat themselves as if they're a AAA studio, right? Because they have to compete against AAA studios. I get that they're an indie company, but they need to compete as if they're a AAA company.
You know what this feels like?
Kind of in the same vein, but new and refreshing. I don't think this is. Maybe this is new and refreshing to some people. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it's not new and refreshing to me to show a picture of an item and then not explain what it is for months and months on end.
And then to show the picture again and still not explain what it is. You know,
this reminds me of those jungle items, bro. The fact that we just randomly brought up is like, didn't they show us jungle items 8 months ago? Where the fuck are those? And then the next patch, jungle items coming soon. Because I honestly feel like that was one of those things like, oh shit, we did show jungle items. I forgot about that. I mean, let's bring those back. Like, that's what it felt like. Because it, like, who shows a picture art and then you don't talk about it for 8 months? At least this time it was a little bit less time. Let's say 4 months, just to be generous. But showing a picture and then 4 months later, you're like, hey, I'll tell you about one of these. It's just like, bruh, at this point, you owe me 4 of them and make me choose between the 2 new ones. That's how I feel.
Yep. So Balak says purple, that's a gun. And then so referencing to me being ADC or whatever. But the whole point is 4 months ago, I already talked about that, being excited about being a gun and being an ADC and blah, blah, blah. Like, we've already had this conversation. It's old news. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to rehash it. I don't want. If you want to see that, go back and watch episode 22 or whatever it was, and then you'll see what I say about the purple gun.
And even back then, it's like a purple gun. Gee, I wonder if it's gonna give me pen. Like,
maybe it won't.
It maybe won't. And that's fine. I'm just like, I'm okay with it because it gives. I like it, but again, I said this back in that episode. It gives you build diversity, finally. Like, that's what we like. Literally, you're stuck building only red, right? Unless you're Windu, and Windu's the only one that does it. So I've tried millions of times. It doesn't work for me. I can't get it to work. So whatever. But maybe with the purple gun, maybe I can start making things work. But yeah, no, we've already, like the saying, like, it literally is old news. It's recycled content is what it is right now.
Balix is saying, I'm not asking you to speculate. The point is to find out what the actual item does. No, the point was to get community engagement and find out what one item does. And again, I'll stand by my point. For these, we should already know what they do because we got told about 'em months ago. Like, you feel me?
It was about speculation.
But it's not even that, but like, think about it. I had a birthday and found out I was having a kid, did a gender reveal and everything before I even found out what this fucking picture meant.
Not for the kid, for himself.
I can't with him how serious he said that shit. Oh my God. He's been waiting, bro. This man has been waiting.
Clarify. I don't know. Just the fact that we've waited so long for patch 14, like I've seen a lot of comments in the chat about how pessimistic we're being. I came into this like 100%. Like I'm going to be optimistic this time. I'm going to be very,
you were 100%
very
you
positive.
were very positive.
And I was, but man, like having to wait so long for patch 14 after they announced it has really drugged me down.
I think that's a natural reaction for everybody in the community.
They harshed my mellow
Except
with that shit, man.
Brendan's the only one that's holding strong. But he also gets 3 weeks breaks. We don't get 3 weeks breaks like Bren does.
I wanted to see it back in September, obviously. And, you guys are getting to see on the 10th. I'm away for that, but that's the way it is.
Right.
It sucks, but, if you're expecting like all these amazing things, it takes time. And yes, it's a long wait. And yes, we got dragged along a little bit. It is what it is. We'll get it when we get it. We've waited longer for less.
I just think with this post, if you literally would have just gave me the green sword and I think I'm going to call it a gauntlet right now, and just showed me those 2 new items that we've never seen before and told us to vote which one you want to see, I think you would have gotten 100% better reaction from it than just re-showing the recycled content. I think that's the only thing I have a problem with. It's like, I get the social, you're using social media, you're trying to get the community engaged. I think it's great. Like it literally is great. I do. But I looked at it and I'm like, I get 2 feelings with that post.
Yeah, reminding us that there's 4 items that you haven't told us about yet is like
really?
I wouldn't have done that, TBH.
That's what I'm saying. Just show me the 2. If that's all you want to show me, I mean, I would have loved, because the thing is, the art team that is doing the items is doing a great fucking job. So I would have loved to see more items. Show me more that you're going to input, so I could we could talk about that. Like, dude, look at this art, look at this art, look at this art. And we'd talk about it. Like, which one do you guys want to see? Right now, I'm between the 2.
So I'm going to give a shout out to Leo Morpheus in the chat because they mentioned a great idea. They said, would it be better if they just chose an item? Let's say they started at number 1, the purple gun. And then from there, they give you a pool of options. And it's like, hey, these are 4 different passives. Which one do you think this gun does? Get community engagement that way. Let us ponder as to what the item's going to do that way. There's other ways about it, but one of the things that you don't want to do is say, hey, we have new stuff. Let me remind you about that shit that I haven't told you about in 4 months. You feel me? Like, though it's like, like, bro, how are you literally going to be here and be like, hey, here's a candy bar, but I'm also going to remind you that I haven't fed you in a month. So, like, no, bro, like, let me focus on the positive that we got new items that we can speculate on. And then use those old items for a separate post. And then, hey, these are different effects that they do. Which one do you think is best for this one? Which one do you want it to be, etc.? Like, you already have it set, but you can still get that community engagement. You feel me? And it still feels like you're progressing about something old. Like, I would be shocked if anybody even chooses one of the 4 old items. Unless they just don't know.
I don't know. I'm struggling to agree, like, because what's been done in the past is speculation on an item. Now I can quickly speculate about those 2 items right now. Mm-hmm. Does that mean that we're satisfied with what those items are?
Well, we're not going to be
speculate right now.
No, but we're not going to be satisfied if you wait 5 months and then tell us about only 1 out of 6.
Yeah. So see it as now an opportunity to see what they are. And we drop the whole, we waited 5 months to see what an item is. They're now giving you an opportunity to see what one of them are. If you don't want to pick 1, 2, 3, and was it 5? Yeah. Don't pick them. Pick 4 or 6. Let bygones be bygones. Let's just.
Yeah, but here's my thing, Brian. I can't. That's what I'm saying. As to that thought that you were about to mention, I'm trying to hold them accountable. I'm trying to let them know it's like, hey, I'll be real. Might have been a better way to approach this, because if we don't bring that up, they might just think, hey, that was a good way. Let's do that again. You feel me? I want them to know that, like, hey, low key, those 1, 2, 3, and 5, you could have done your own separate things for those in a very creative way, gotten community engagement, moved forward from that, and kept 4 and 6 separate with the hype of new items getting added. But I'm sorry, but in no fucking world am I going to sit here and tell you that it makes sense to combine 4 items that I told you about months ago, but never followed up on, with 2 brand new items and expect you to not have mixed feelings.
Right.
Would you have preferred it if they completely left those items out, put in different items, and had us vote on
100%?
I would have zero problem with that. 6 items. Tell me about one. It's the fact. It's
without revealing what those old items are.
Even if they didn't reveal it, because I'll be honest with you, I had forgot about those 4 items.
Out of sight, out of mind. You forget about it. You had nothing to do with it. And I looked at it. I'm like, and it's something because I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen this before.
Because I'll be real.
I just want to pick up.
Go ahead, before I continue.
The principle of what Mangus just said, yes, with the feelings of being left out the dark for 5 months, but you taking the good thing about having those 6 new items is, yes, it's new items, but the principle is the same. You're still going to find out about an item that you do not know.
That's
right.
That's the principle.
Yes.
It's the exact same. If you take the feelings away from you not being able to actually know what that item is, the principle is the exact same. There's 6 items there that you don't know. You've speculated on 4 of them, but you don't actually know what they are. They're asking you to pick one of them.
But by doing 6 new items, you're not reminding people that I brought these up to you months ago and didn't tell you shit. And I'm saying, even if we pick one of these 4 that we talked about months ago, best case scenario, you still aren't going to find out about 3 until the day comes.
I honestly would not have known that these had been shown before, even though I've talked about them on the show with you guys. I honestly would not have remembered if you guys didn't bring it up, to be perfectly honest. Like, I think it seems like a pretty good idea on the surface. I mean, once you guys bring that up, that they have been shown before, it's a little less pleasing. But I'm kind of with Bren on this. It's still a fun way to engage the community. And yeah, they've shown this stuff before, but if they hadn't shown it before, I think it would have been 100% cooler. But
yes,
I think it's still kind of cool.
That's what
I agree with that.
I love the idea of what we're doing. I love the community engagement. I love the social media usage. I'm all about it because they didn't put it just on Twitter. They put it on Instagram. They put it on Facebook, right? They put it everywhere you could vote. And you can even vote in Discord, right? You could go, they put a little icon on there so you could just click on the icon, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you just keep on, if you want 6, you click on 6, right? But actually I was told in Discord, don't click on 6 because right now 6 has 9 votes. So it says 69. I
can't with you, bro. He said, don't ruin the consistency, bro.
That literally was a thing that was in chat. I was watching Gen Chat. Platy posted it. So anyways, but yeah, you can vote in all these different areas you can vote on. I'm all about the community engagement and getting people involved. I'm 100% behind that. I just think it would have been better to only show us the 2 new items or a whole 6 new items. But the fact that you mix the old with the new just gives you those mixed feelings.
I think this would sum it up.
And maybe Mangoose, all right, you didn't have those mixed feelings if nobody brought it up to you, all right? But I know me and Windu are not the only ones that are sitting here thinking the same thing.
Windu and I.
Yeah. It's okay. He's from Michigan.
No, he's a mean Windu. He's a mean Windu.
But no, so I think this would sum it up. If there were only new items on this post, regardless of the amount, right, it would have had a different perception. But the moment that you're including those previous items in there, you're just bringing up the thought of, or just the question of, why don't I already know about these?
Okay. Well, then it also just pours salt on the wound, the fact that 14 took so long to be released anyways. You know, we have that going on. If 14 wasn't this long weighted road that we thought we were going to have it earlier. It just kind of makes you think about that even more. Like, yeah, we've talked about this forever ago.
Not everybody pays attention to this shit as close as we do, though.
Well, that's bullshit.
Yeah, but that's the reason why we have this partner panel, bro.
TV and watch the partner panel. And if you miss it live, then you should be watching it on WinduTheMace at YouTube.com.
Or podcast.
If you can't even do it there, or podcast on Google or Apple or Spotify, all those 3 places. You can everywhere you can have this information at the grasp of your hands.
The only item that I recognize as having seen before is the Unicron. That's it. The other ones, I don't ever remember seeing before, to be perfectly honest. So I think maybe it hits different for 1% of Fault fans. It hits exactly the same as if you had brand new items for the other 99%.
Yeah, and I think that literally just comes down to the whole ignorance is bliss situation.
But I get what you're saying.
No, I understand them. I understand the example. And I just think that falls into ignorance is bliss situation, right? Like for the average new player, they don't know about this shit. For them, this post is as if there's 6 new items being announced. Mm-hmm. So the end result is there. But for anybody that knows about those posts, arguably a good portion of the active players by now, because most of the active players are like dedicated players that have been here for a bit. You feel me? And that's what I'm saying. Like it really is a perspective thing. But at the end of the day, I can't sit here as somebody that's been here from the beginning of those blog posts and everything and be happy about the post. Because if they announce, like, let's say instead of announce, I was just showing us these pictures months ago. Let's say in the month of October, they showed us one of these pictures each week. And now they're giving us an opportunity to vote. That shit was a month ago. That's not that far away. Timing, relevance matters. You feel me? Be like, okay. But when you put 4 months in between, that timing is off. Like, that makes me feel like somebody forgot about these fucking items. Or like, yo, let's make a post. I think 2 isn't enough. Like, instead of just showing 2, can we add more in there? That's right. We didn't talk about those. Let's throw those in there. You feel me? Like, why are you going to you're bringing up something that was 6 months ago, 5 months ago, whatever the time is.
Two people both pretty much said, paraphrasing, that new items, some people don't care about new items. Like, is really what they paraphrasing. Their items, they're not worried about it. So they're not so even a social post like this, they're not really caring about it. So you do have a group of the community that isn't even going to care about this post, right? And the people who are going to care about this post are probably the people who've been following along, listening to the partner panel on the Bearded Wolverine, twitch.tv. But anyways, Bailey says you don't know about them. Wait, hold on. He says, but they are 6 new items. You just saw art. But they're not new anymore. You've already showed me the skin or the art of the item. It's not new anymore. I already know of this item. I don't know what it does. There's something behind it that I don't know, but that doesn't make that new anymore. It's already been revealed. Like, I know that this item exists. It's not new. I just don't know what that item does yet. That's the difference. What do you got there, Bren? He's typing up in Gen Chat. I can tell right now.
What have I got? No, my point's the same. I'm still not in agreement, but understanding.
Right, but what are your thoughts on the group of the community that doesn't even care about items?
Well, they might care about something else that maybe we might not care about.
Like phase. They'd probably
they might care about that purple thing on the wall. They might be so excited about that right now. And they're going to be like, yo, I think it's this. I'm going to be like, I don't care. I'm on about the right. And they're like, no, that means a lot to me. That color, it's preference.
True.
So
yeah, no, it's all definitely preference.
What doesn't matter to somebody else might matter to someone else. It's one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah. Felix did say in the chat, we didn't say in the blog that we were going to tell you what they did back then. No, you didn't. But for about a good 2 months, you were showing a picture of an item and then telling us what it is the week after when you implemented it. There were just 4 items that were shown and never got implemented, never got disclosed. But I'm sorry, but I can't sit here and say that that's good practice in any way for any business to be like, hey, I'm going to show you a picture of an item. And we're just not going to talk about it for multiple months. And the reason why I have a bigger issue with it is because it's not the first time that Strange Matters has done this. They did that shit with the jungle items. They waited 8 months to finally tell us what they did. And now waiting anywhere between 3 to like 5 months, 6 months, whatever number we want to pick to tell us what these items are going to do.
I want to address something real quick.
You just went from one end of the spectrum. Yeah, you just want us to show you nothing at all. Like that's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're going with that.
You're acting like it's either hazy information or no information at all. You're leaving out that we can also get clear information about what's going on.
Yeah, right. Like it's literally.
It doesn't have to be hazy or nothing. It can be also clear.
You literally went to the opposite of the spectrum of what we're going here. But I mean, I guess if that's how it wants to be, we'll just like you said earlier in chat, we'll just agree to disagree. We'll move on. I can tell that people are getting heated with it. So let's just move on before people get hurt. And feelings, I meant, not physically, because we're all different states.
Oh, the gauntlet has been thrown. Bearded and Balix, Fight Night 2022.
I can't. Anyhow, yeah, it's just good practices. That's all I'm focusing on, and I'm being very harsh about it because it's a repeated instance because it's a pattern at this point. And we brought it up beforehand when those jungle items got released. I was like, hey, that's not a good look. Really wish they wouldn't do that. We recommend keeping things within a timely manner. Tell us about an item, really. And then after that, they started on point. We're going to show you a picture. We're going to show you 2 pictures. And then over the next month, we're going to tell you what those 2 items do. It was honestly perfectly fine. And we applauded them for doing that progression and moving forward about the information delivery. But you're not going to get any praise out of me for taking 3 steps back and letting me know about these items 5 months later. You're not getting any praise out of me in that sense, because you as a company, Strange Matter went in the right direction and they took 2 steps back and they want me to be happy about it. That's just not how it works. I'm sorry.
All right. So Alex just he clarified. He was replying to somebody else in chat. That's one thing. It's like, we got to use the reply function, guys.
You can reply to a direct message on there. If it's just a general message, we're assuming it's to us.
It's a general message, like it's to me. So, all right, my apologies, Balix. I will definitely. I've eaten crow before on here before. Who was it we were talking to before? I've eaten crow. Oh, it was Bucket. My bad. So my apologies. But no, all right. My apologies. Well, the way I read it and with our conversation, it fit right perfectly in. So I got you. My bad.
Yeah, so let's switch the subject here. Let's talk about more of what does patch 14 mean for the life of the game before we wrap up here. Because we speculated a little bit about this in the past, right? But with
a lot of people think that 14 leads right to 1.0.0.
You guys think it's in a state
feel that way
to go for that? Like based off of what we see at least?
I mean, so we got to be like a lot like Ethereal stress test, right? So depending on what Ethereal finds with their stress test that they just had recently is when they're going to bring out their alpha, right? So their pre-alpha, okay? So it's almost like depending on how 14 goes, brings out 1, right? Is what a lot of people in the community are wanting, right? They think that we need a full release to really continue this game growing. So... and that's what 1 is. 1.0.0 would be full release, right? So that's what a lot of people think. It's like depending on how 14 goes, if 14 goes well, and we're not sitting here looking at a huge buggy mess, and it's playing smoothly, and a lot of people are giving good praise on it, then we need to, while good praises, because good praise was given with 13, right? But then after so long of 13, all of a sudden, bam, those numbers just started dropping, right? So we need we can't just we got to ride that good praise. You got to keep that wave going.
The momentum.
Bring in one. Yeah. One
Taking
or
advantage.
15. Something's got to happen,
I really hope 14 brings back some players that tried the game like that first week and it was like buggy and laggy and shit. Because I've been preaching this to anybody who will listen. Patch 13 Fault, completely different game from when they first released. The game is so much better now. I think if the people that left at first were to come back and play the game now, they would be very impressed with what Strange Matter has done, and they would stay with the game. So I'm hoping that patch 14 brings those people back and also brings in new players and freshens up the game so I can actually get matched against somebody my skill level instead of either a level 1 or a Smurf or like somebody that's way out of my league. Like, I'm not the greatest player ever. I'll admit that freely. I can't compete with the top level of players in the game. And it kind of sucks that I get matched up against the top level players in the game. So that's what I'm hoping patch 14 does. I don't know what it means for the longevity of the game. I don't know what it means for as far as when they actually do their final release. I just hope it entices some people to come back and retry the game, because I think Fault gets a bad rap for their first outings. And I think if people were to come back and try it again, they would be far, far happier with the way Fault is now. And I hope it brings in new players so we can freshen up that player base.
True. And let me actually talk about what somebody said in chat. Do you guys think, right now, as you mentioned, Mangoose, it's in a much, much better state. There's a good chance that a lot of those people will come in and stay if they try it again. But what if 14 comes out and they feel, let's say they run into those initial first week bugs. They really need to make sure that shit's ironed out, because if not, you're going to get the same exact effect. There's some shit that might be fixed within a week, but they're not going to give the game another chance because they came in at 14 and we're like, nope, still bugs everywhere. I'm out.
Yep. And maybe when it comes out, we'll be glad that they waited so long to release the patch, because they made sure that it worked. Maybe we'll be singing the praises of them announcing it. Well, I still don't think they should have announced it so far away from release, but I'm glad they've worked on it so long if it works well. And I have no reason to believe that it won't work well. Pat, I mean, I think I said this today in a YouTube comment. I think patch 13, they rebuilt their foundation and made it far more stable than it was before. Patch 14 will build upon that foundation. I hope that's the way things go.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with Mangoose. Best intentions, sort of optimism, just hoping for the best, really. 14.
Oh no, definitely.
Stepping stone. Let's just appreciate what the team's done.
No, I can't wait to jump into 14 and run around the map. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take advantage of AI mode, and I'm literally just going to run around the map and show it on stream, because I can't wait to get in there and see all the new shit that they added, because we only got a glimpse of it with the phase video. There's more to it. We know there's more to it, and I want to say at the very beginning, but we haven't got to it yet. But this map, this is a revamp. I can only imagine if this is just a revamp. I can only imagine what the brand new map is actually going to be. Yeah. Right. If they've done this with a revamp, I'm excited to see what the actual map is. You've shown me something small, and I know you can go bigger. I can't wait.
Shout out Espada.
Shout out Espada, dude.
The map definitely feels like it's in the spot where it should have been. You know what I'm saying? Looking at it and everything, considering that this is the map that we could have had months ago. You feel me? Just when it's more detail, polished out, etc. Just imagine if Espada would have joined the team before early access. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How much of a difference maker that could have been. So it's good, but I also want to put that touch of realism in there that that they still need to put a sense of urgency in moving forward. Because as far as a lot of people in the rest of the Paragon community are concerned, map-wise, they might have caught up compared to other competitors. They need to supersede those expectations, move forward from there, and blow everybody's minds with this new map. If the new map takes another year and a half to come out, or technically, about a year and a half. If the new map takes a year and a half to come out from now, it's not going to be as much of an impact because they are time sensitive things. Like you said, riding that wave as best as possible of hype. You got a bunch of people in here, throw them something new, keep them engaged. As soon as you might see player numbers kind of stagnate a little bit before they drop, throw something new in there, like try to take advantage of that momentum.
Yeah, it should always be a uphill climb, maybe a plateau, but with an uphill climb. We don't want to see this. This isn't the greatest thing, right? You can still work with it, but this is what you want to see. That uphill climb with some plateaus, that's what you want.
Yeah. So is there anything that you guys want to say before we do a little switcheroo here? Any other 2 cents you guys want to add?
I'm excited to play 14. I can't wait to get in. The 10th is coming pretty quick actually, and I'm excited to see what other. They've been pretty active recently, ever since they announced the little teaser trailer here with FaZe. They've been pretty active, so I'm hoping they continue up with that activity on the social media, and we'll be able to talk more about it next week, right here on the partner panel.
Fingers crossed, right? So, Bren, words of advice for the community before we say our goodbyes here.
Always compete, never surrender.
He said no F1. Okay,
No
spicy.
F1.
Hey, you can't catch a vibe if you F1, right?
Caught a vibe.
I can't, bro. Yo, and Bren, where can people follow you, bro?
Bren _ on Twitch, Twitter, and that's it at the moment.
Okay, spicy. Everybody go follow him. Mangoose?
No, seriously, guys, real quick before Bren, follow Bren. He's an EU streamer, the great guy, great attitude.
Brexit.
Yeah.
EU. Yeah.
Brexit now.
We're going by servers.
What?
He's naming a city.
It's a weird way to say breakfast, Bearded.
I guess I must be too much of a boomer right now. I don't know what the fuck Brexit is, but
it's not a boomer thing. I'll tell you that right now.
I have no clue what the fuck that is. Anyways, follow the guy. He's a great guy, great attitude, and he'll definitely get you. If you're an NA streamer or NA gamer and you watch him in the morning, it's a great cup of Joe right there.
And one more thing I'd like to say, actually, just one. For 14 coming in, because I'll be away. I don't know if I've mentioned that already. I'll be away for 14 dropping. So everybody out there, if there's new people in your team for patch 14, don't go, oh, new people, well, I don't want to be queued up with them. Teach them, welcome them, send them to the Discord, send them to the teachers in Discord and stuff. Just let's help each other out on this one. We say we want to ride a wave. Well, we need people to ride that wave, so let's keep the people that come.
Yeah, it definitely is worthwhile, and for the benefit of the community, just take the hit for the first couple matches. You know what I mean? Help people walk through. Be like, we might lose this one. YOLO, let me work on my farm or some shit. Just definitely do what you can to try and get that community going. For sure. All right, and Mangoose?
I just followed Bren, so I'll get notified whenever he goes live on Twitch. The man has a beautiful, well-kept beard, and I respect that. Respect the shit out of it. I also respect that he doesn't F1. I love that. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.
Good shit. And Bearded?
Stick with us. We're having a blast. Great news coming.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and I'll be real.
You know where to find me. You're here. Yeah.
We'll have the link below. But yeah, I'm just gonna end my 2 cents with I'm excited, but again, I'm just keeping a watchful eye for what Strange Matter does. Right? Like I hope that they don't pull what they did last week. They give me a video, they give me a picture poll, and then next week they're quiet for a whole week or some shit like that. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all about learning from past events. It's all about progression, ironing out the kinks so they can have a well-oiled machine, specifically on the marketing side, community engagement and such. It's just one of those things that Strange Matter just has to make sure that the execution and the timing is excellent. TBH. What? Yeah, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, everybody that's here live watching on YouTube and or in the podcast. We really do appreciate it. And what we are going to do is we're going to take a quick little recess. And then we're going to change subjects and change games. So we will see you all very soon.